I'm Jennifer Butler Wight. I'm a program coordinator at the Labrador Institute of Memorial University. I have 20 slides, so I'll try and make them quick so we can all go get some grub. So this is Labrador. We have 3 offices. They're located in central Labrador, in Happy Valley Goose Bay, in western Labrador, in Wabush, Labrador City, and also in Northwest River, which is about 33 kilometers from Goose Bay. Next slide. So Labrador has a population of 30,000 people. We have a large Aboriginal presence, and we've been in the news recently. So we have our first member of parliament who is an Innu man from Shahajit. His name is Peter Panashwe. He's also the Federal Minister of Intergovernmental Affairs. Muskrat Falls is in the news. That's a large hydroelectric development project that's the lower Churchill. Churchill Falls is the upper Churchill, so this is the lower. The report from the environmental assessment panel is now online for anyone who's interested. The Innu Nation recently signed the new Dawn land claim agreement in Natwashish. And of course, Voisey's Bay, IOC, which is the Iron Ore Company of Canada. There's some uranium mining talks and rare earth minerals going on the south coast as well. So the Labrador Institute kind of started very small in the late 70s. We were a part of the MUN Extension program, which was promoting community development. It was all over Newfoundland and Labrador. People still refer to us as MUN Extension, and that's because the Labrador Institute, even though we're a part of the university, we've kind of kept up that involvement in the community, which the university as a whole has kind of stepped back from. 1997, we changed to the Labrador Institute. Right now we have 7 full-time staff, and we have many visiting scholars. So again, we have 3 offices. Our mission is really interesting. Memorial University has, in its, I guess, mandate, a special obligation to the people of the province. So that is Newfoundland and Labrador. So part of what we do is to bring the needs of Labrador to the university, as well as facilitate the university in Labrador. Next slide. So we accomplish our mission through what we call our core values, which are collaboration, outreach, research, and education. I'll just talk briefly about each of these and what we're doing. So collaboration. Each of our offices is co-located with the College of the North Atlantic, which is the provincial college system. Labrador City, Goose Bay, and Northwest River, we're all in college buildings, but we have our own space. We have worked with the Nunavut government on the Integrated Nursing Access Program. We have a new research center, which I'll talk about. The Savunavut Inuit Community Corporation is representing the Inuit of Northwest River in, which is outside of the land claims area, so we work heavily with them. One of the really neat things that we did is, because of this MUN Extension history, we often have people come to us and say, I need to write a proposal, I don't know how, can you give me a hand? So we help them write this proposal to Health Canada's Health Adaptation and Climate Change Program. They end up getting $118,000 to lay out a baseline data on traditional ice traveling routes, traditional hunting, areas that are being impacted. So it's too bad we haven't done this earlier, but we're doing it now, so that as things continue to change, if they continue to change, we know where we were. Right now we're doing a pilot, I can keep talking, a pilot bachelor social work degree program, which is really interesting. The Nunavut government, which is the Inuit government in Labrador, they partner with Memorial University School of Social Work to offer a full on-site degree to 19 beneficiaries in Happy Valley Goose Bay. It's the first of its kind in Labrador. Everything is taught live. They bring in teachers from Memorial in Corner Brook as well as Memorial in St. John's. They started with 32, they're at 19, and in 2013 they will all return to the land claims area because NG is funding their educations with a return of service agreement. So we are involved with the Aboriginal Initiatives Task Force, which is from the VP Academics Office at MUN. We have, again, substantial grants through IPY, ARIF. We're also Tri-Council eligible, so we have some funding there. Next slide. Dr. Ron Sparks is a member of the steering committee for Cernoka and RESDA, and he would have loved to have been here, but he had some health issues that he had to deal with, so I get to come to Yellowknife on his behalf. In terms of what we're doing in Labrador, we have had several summer students work directly on the I guess, social economy inventory in Labrador. So while they were based in Goose Bay, they did research all over. We also had the Labrador Symposium on the Social Economy back in March. Many of you may have been with us there. Next slide. Outreach. So this continues. This is really cool. We have a great director who allows us to continue in outreach in ways that universities aren't necessarily known to do. So I have personally worked with the Relay for Life Cancer Society on work time. We have a woman who does all the Labrador Creative Arts Festival, that's Martha McDonald. All of this is done for the community. We bring students in from the north to the south, right to Goose Bay. That's done on work time. We have a Labradorians on Film screenings series. That is outreach that we do in the community. Everything else, music festival, you name it, we do it as part of our obligation to the people that are in our communities. We also do a lot of research, so that's internally and externally. Dr. Johanna Wolf was our first postdoctoral fellow. We are about to have our third start in Nain in January. So she did a lot of publishing while she was with us. Our director, Keith, has done a lot of work recently with David. And Scott Nielsen, who is a PhD candidate in archaeology, did the Savunavut. He was the project manager for that particular project. Research, and I brought the books to show you. So this is research. This is called Very Rough Country. It's the proceedings of the Labrador Exploration Symposium. This is a great example of collaboration and research working together. In 2005, the centennial of the Mina Hubbard expedition through Labrador, the town of Northwest River approached us and said, we want to have a big spectacular event. What can we do? So they collaborated with Martha, and Martha pulled it all together. And aside from the really fun activities that came out, this book was also created. Great collection. It's got a lot of traditional as well as academic. So if you want a copy, just drop me $20. Another cool thing that we did was this book. It's called The Polar Bear and the Rock, Two Windows on the World. Nanok Ujagami. I can't speak Inuktitut, but what this is it's a collection of an oral history of a polar bear rock formation in Nain. And so Martha had her folklore students collect the story from several elders in the community, and then what she did was she talked to a geologist. So it's Inuktitut and English. It was given to every grade 4 student in Labrador, and it's a really cool book because it shows equal weight for traditional knowledge, the myth of the polar bear and the rock, and it says, you know, this is just as valid as the geological perspective. So this one is 15. We had an overhaul of our library system. We've recently had 2 people start with us. So even though we've been an administrative arm of the university, we're starting to move into an academic arm. We have Dr. Rebecca Schiff, who just started with us. She's through MUN Medicine's Community Health and Humanities Division. See, Community Health and Humanities. So she's looking at Aboriginal health. Lori McNeil is finishing her PhD. She's a Nunatsiavut government Inuit beneficiary, and she's looking at indicators of student success. Education, we offer linguistics, sociology, anthropology, geography, women's studies, all in intercession. The Bachelor of Social Work I've already talked about. The library, so one of the cool things in our library, we had over 1,500 films that were on Beta, U-matic, VHS, DVD, and we had a program coordinator who in 1 year took it all, digitized it, and we now have an archive, which is really cool. So we have someone now compiling all the metadata, and hopefully someday it'll be online so that it can provide an alternative for researchers who are interested in Labrador and who want to see what's already been done, not only from an academic perspective, but from a community perspective. So it's about Labrador and Labradorians recorded by outsiders and by insiders. Our Northwest River Research Station, like everyone else, we're now able to house people. Before we could have done it, but we had to go through the College of the North Atlantic and blah, 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 blah. Now we have our own spaces. This is our director in our new boat. So we have a research vessel, we have 2 laboratories, we have some storage space, residence accommodations, meeting and teaching space, and Mario Blaser, who's the Canada Research Chair in Aboriginal Studies. He is hopefully going to give us some money to install smart classrooms in that building so that we'll be able to collaborate more with our sister campuses in Memorial, in St. John's and Corner Brook. We have offered courses in Labrador that have not yet been offered at Grenfell, that have been retired from Memorial and St. John's since the 70s. So we're hoping that if we can get the technology up and running, and a big problem for us is bandwidth. Right now, if you move to Goose Bay, you cannot get internet access. So we're hoping that once that comes along, we'll be able to collaborate more closely with our sisters. Next slide. Many projects I've already referenced. Munns Harris Center is the Leslie Harris Center of Regional Policy and Development. We work very closely with them. Expo Labrador and the Northern Lights conferences and trade shows, so even though a lot of them are economic based, they are also very much social economic endeavors. I'm the chair of the governing board for Lisa Rankin's Cura project on the South Coast. She's looking at, she's working with the Labrador Métis Nation, who are now called Nunatuavut, and she's uncovering some information for their prospective land claim. In June of this year, the president of Memorial, we have a new president, he came to Labrador and doubled our budget. So we're really excited about that. We're hoping, once we figure out the logistics, to have some faculty members join our staff. We're doing some new hiring. We've worked with the Atlantic Canada Opportunities Agency and Innovation, Trade and Rural Development, along with Memorial University, to hire several research associates. Right now they're all natural resource based, but we're hoping to expand and have some social scientists. And Five Wing Goose Bay is the base there. We're trying to get some space. We're growing quicker than we can accommodate ourselves. So while we're squished in offices, we still open up everything we have to researchers who want to come and work with us. And that's it. So we're on Twitter. I'm tweeting from here today. We're on Facebook. And if you're ever in Goose Bay, you can drop by, or Northwest, or Labrador City. And that's it. Thank you.